On this episode of Storytime with Salvwreck, I'm going to talk about something that's really important. It was about a warning that I believe that the Lord had given to me back in 2019 of COVID-19, the coronavirus. So get your popcorn ready, get yourself set, because this episode is going to be pretty mind-blowing because it was mind-blowing to me when the Lord gave it to me. So opening credits, and I'll see you there. Welcome back, Movementers. Again, welcome to another episode of Storytime with Salvwreck. I'm Christal Clear, and I'm going to go ahead and start off with a prayer. My dearly Father, I thank you for this day, Lord. Thank you for once again, everybody, for coming for another episode of Storytime with Salvwreck. Lord, I ask that you will help me say the right words that you want me to say to the audience to help them throughout whatever struggles or trials that they're going through. Give your angels charge over them, save souls everywhere, Lord, and I'll give you honor, glory, and praise in Jesus' name. Amen. Okay, so I want to talk about a vision that I believe that the Lord had gave me back in 2019. But before I start off with that, I want to read this Bible verse. It's going to be out of Acts chapter 2, verse 17. I'm going to read out the King James Version, and it reads, "And it shall come to pass that in the last days, saith God, I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, and your young men shall see visions, and your old men shall dream dreams." Back in December of 2019, one day I fell asleep. I believe I was, falling asleep so I could get ready for work. People who know me, or if you didn't know me, it might be your first episode of watching me. I'm a truck driver. I've been driving tractor trailers for 14 years, and I've been with this company for 19 years now. I am a child of God. I try to follow God in his ways as much as I can. So the story I'm going to tell you is not saying that I'm a prophet or anything. I'm far beyond that. I just want you to know that I'm just like you. I'm a human being, a person, the regular person. I do sin sometimes that I have to ask God for forgiveness for. I'm not a person that's holier than thou. I'm not better than anybody, but I was blessed enough to get this information from the Lord through this vision that he gave me. So that I wanted to establish. So anyway, I started dreaming this dream, and I was at work. I was in the location, I probably like Philadelphia. It looked like Philadelphia that was in the background. I'm not too sure. I'm not sure where area I was at, but however, I was doing my job, and I was bringing product out of the back of the trailer. Now, people who know me, my job is the trailers that we have has a lift gate on it. So you have to put it on a platform of the lift gate, and the lift gate goes down. And then you take the product off of the lift gate with a hand truck or with a dolly. We call it the cool lift or a power jack, and then we make our deliveries. Well, at this particular stop, I had a power jack. And the reason why I'm mentioning this power jack is very significant about this vision that the Lord has shown me. Power jacks, so I don't know the exact size of the weight of a power jack, but power jacks are pretty heavy, and they don't just move off of, if you just push it without pushing the button to move it. You just can't manually push a power jack with it and it'll move on you. It weighs probably a couple of tons, you know what I mean? But there's a significance again to why I'm mentioning this power jack. So anyway, I was pulling the power jack and putting the product on the liftgate platform to lower it. All of a sudden, I saw somebody who I recognized and I haven't seen in a while. So for some strange reason, I jumped off of the lift gate. I didn't lower it. I just jumped off and I went to go greet this person. I was just talking to him, and just like a normal, work day. You see somebody on the street that that you haven't seen in a while. You want to go and talk to them to see how they're doing and stuff. So all of a sudden, I felt like a shift in the atmosphere. And when I turned around, I looked up to the sky. I seen a tornado in the far distance coming right upon the land. And it was a real big tornado. Like, it was pretty big. It was maybe like a F4, it was pretty huge tornado. And this was not the first time I dreamed about tornadoes. Every time I started dreaming about tornadoes, if you don't, like, people that don't know me, it's usually, it's like maybe the 8th or 9th time I dreamt about a tornado. And every time I dreamt about this, it felt like it was a warning for the Lord that something was either going to happen in my life, or something was going to, just shift in, just something catastrophic might come, or something, something that's going to change in my life in a dramatic sense. I have dreamt this when I started becoming an adult. Every time I dreamt about a tornado, something happened to me in my regular life, and I came to understanding that the Lord was trying to warn me about something every time I dreamed of tornadoes. So anyway, back to this story. So the tornado came down on the ground, and just like my other dreams, when I dreamed about tornadoes, I seen it beginning to destroy the land around it, because that's what tornadoes do. They're very powerful winds that go into a whirling circle and destroy things that's in this path. So all of a sudden, people started running, and of course it was really scary because like I said, it's a tornado. So when I started to run too, all of a sudden I heard voices. So when I started to run, I heard the voices, and it was weird because it wasn't like voices like like a normal person talking to me, because that would not concern me that somebody was talking to me. But the way it was talking to me, like it was like a lot of people talking at once, but in a whispering sound. And then I realized when I turned around that the voices that were talking to me were from the tornado itself. And I turned around, like I said, I saw the tornado. And usually when you see a tornado, it moves to either, it moves on any old kinds of direction. Especially like when they say that if a tornado doesn't seem like it's actually moving towards you. If people don't know, that's what they say. If it doesn't look like it's moving directly towards you. But however, when I went to see where the voices were coming from, I realized it was from the tornado, that it actually was the tornado trying to give me a message. And it stopped me in my tracks. So while, again, everybody was running away from the tornado, I just stopped there. And then what I noticed, like I said, the tornado didn't look like it was moving, but unlike how usually scientifically it means that it's coming towards you, this tornado wasn't moving at all. It stood in one place. And I was astonished by it. And what I saw, I looked at it even more. I realized this tornado had faces in it. And I started noticing faces all up in the tornado. It must have been hundreds of faces in this tornado. Now, like I said, I dreamt about tornadoes before, but I never saw it actually have faces in it. And all of a sudden, when I saw the faces and, like I said, the tornado was talking to me, I started walking towards it. Which is kind of crazy, because why would you walk towards a tornado? So when I was walking towards it, it was getting louder. And I was trying to take my phone, just like, you know, this one here. And I tried to take a picture of it. All of a sudden, there was a figure, a figure in white. I didn't see his face, or like, you know, who, you know, I didn't can't give you a good description of it. But it was a figure in white who grabbed me on my shoulders, you know, to try to distract me from actually going towards the tornado. And again, like I said, I had my phone on me and I wanted to take a picture of this tornado because I'm like, this tornado's not moving. I'm seeing faces in it. It's talking to me. Even though it's destroying the land, it's like, I'm just astonished and I want to go towards it. So I'm trying to take this picture and the figure in white kept blocking my viewpoint of the tornado. And when I was trying to, you know, just, you know, move away from the figure in white, I turned around. All of a sudden, the figure was gone, along with the tornado. And all of a sudden, when I saw the tornado, it was gone. Like, it didn't, like, you know, dissipate up in the air like tornadoes usually do. Like I say, when the guy blocked me from viewing it, it was just gone. It vanished into the I don't even know how it disappeared. It was just gone. But the crazy part was going back to what I was saying about the power jack. The power jack weighed, you can, like I say, you can't move it. All of a sudden, when I was looking at the power jack on the lift gate, it was spinning in a circle, like as if like you was spinning a coin, or like flipping the coin, and try to like have it do like a little tornado wind. It kept going like this on my lift gate. Kept going like this, and I mean, it was going like this violently, but it was staying in place. And I was just astonished. And everywhere around the area was completely destroyed. My truck was still there, like I said, along with the lift gate was still up in the air, along with the product, and my lift gate is spinning around. And it bothered me. Like, I didn't know what was the significance of it, because, you know, it seems like with visions, it seems like you're there forever in a vision, but the visions sometimes probably just last maybe 2 or 3 minutes, but even though it felt like I was there forever. So I woke up. All of a sudden I woke up, and it bothered me. So after a while, like, I come to know when the difference between the dream and the vision. So I woke up and I started praying, and I wanted to know what the Lord was trying to tell me. And I went to my dad. My dad is good at interpreting dreams. The Lord gave him that gift. I said that in the earlier episode before, that he's good at interpreting dreams. And I told him everything about it as much as I could remember, just as like I'm telling you. And he told me, okay, give me a couple days. I'm gonna pray to the Lord about it, and I'll get back to you. I believe it was 3 days later, he did get back to me, and he gave me a whole bunch of scriptures. And he described what I saw, and he gave me his interpretation of it. So he said that his interpretation was, and this is 2019. He said that in 2020, he said something very bad is going to happen. He said it's going to be so bad that it's something that I would never imagine. It's going to rock the world. And the Lord told me this because he wanted me to prepare for what was going to come in 2020. Now, again, like I said, this is December 2019. And he told me, my dad told me, he said, he said 2020 is going to be a very bad year. And he said, the Lord told me to prepare for it. He said, prepare. He said, but through it, he said, he told me that, you know, that even though it's going to be catastrophic, he said, God is going to be in the midst of the calamity. And he just told me to prepare and stay in the word. He said, stay in the word. He said, something's going to happen that you're going to realize that, you know what I mean, when you think things are in control, it's not. Nothing's in control. I didn't know until, and this is the thing I never find out. Sometimes I don't find out what the Lord means until it happened. So like the whole time I was thinking about it, like what was going on, I was reading news reports and stuff. And then all of a sudden, this COVID-19 started spreading throughout the world. Not only in China and then other places like, you know, I believe it was Italy. Italy got hit hard. Parts of Europe got hit hard. And then all of a sudden it started spreading into the United States. And when it spread into the United States, and you know, and I just saw it coming down and hitting everybody hard, and you know how the governments weren't prepared for it all over the world. They weren't prepared for something like this. And knowing that the end of the results now, I never knew that the Lord was trying to warn me that this virus was going to come into this land until, of course, it was too late and it was happening. The power jack, I came to realize, represented something that was, when you think it's something that was heavy and strong, Lord was telling me it was going to move like wheat. I believe he was trying to warn us about our economy, how we think that we got it together with our economy. He say even the slightest things in this world, like the coronavirus, can rock our whole economy. And it has. I've seen businesses close. I've seen, you know, just people going through it, even through my deliveries. It's like, it's when people thought everything was going so well, and like, you know, the economy was bouncing back, everything was pretty much got destroyed because of this virus. And that's what I believe that the power jack represents. Something that you think that can't move so easily gets rocked by a simple thing like this virus. It hurts seeing a lot of people die from it. I see a lot of people that I don't know. I read reports about it. I always study everything about, you know, when things happen in this world. And I try to tell young people, you need to get involved in the current events, because through the current events, the Lord is trying to warn you about something in the last days that's coming. People might not believe in the Lord, but I'm telling you, it's things about this world, things that goes on about this world, there ain't no coincidences. But anyway, so yeah, so like everything was just, seeing the world get destroyed the way it did because of COVID-19, it breaks my heart every time. I lost people to COVID-19. My wife has lost friends, you know, through COVID-19. It's sad to see how the people were just got destroyed by it. And it still hurts today, because it's like I seen something coming. I didn't know what it was, but I seen something coming. but you can't do nothing to stop it. So, why am I telling this story? Because, you know what, it was a sensitive thing to talk about, because I didn't even know if I should have presented this story about the Lord was trying to warn me. But my dad encouraged me a while ago to say he wouldn't want you to hold that, you know what I mean? And he wouldn't want you to hold that away from telling people about, you know, what was going on in the spiritual sense. So he told me I should tell this story. Now, I'm not trying to say that, you know, this thing was supposed to happen. I'm not in that position to say, oh, you know, this stuff is good. No. Seeing people die is never good. But the reason why I'm telling you this story is this. A lot of people go to sleep at night and they dream things. And I know we have dreams. You know, I dream some kind of crazy stuff. You can tell it's a dream. But there's some dreams that seems really significant about them. And you might, and for some reason, it just might stick in your head more, like I did with this tornado dream. Just like the other tornado dreams that I've been dreaming about. You might want to consider sometimes when you dream of something that's really significant, it might be actually the Lord trying to tell you about something. There's a Bible verse, and I'll probably say it in a later episode, that says that sometimes I can't say it offhand, I'm not good at pronouncing it, but he says sometimes in life like some people get so distracted to the point that God has to talk to them through their dreams in order for them to take heed what the Lord is saying. I said it many times throughout all these episodes of Storytime that I struggle a lot. I get distracted a lot in life to the point that God has had to speak to me through my dreams. Sometimes you need to look at your dreams and really study what you dreamt about and maybe realize that it's the Lord warning you about something. And I know there's people that don't believe in God, but I just say consider it, because like I said, I didn't know he was going to tell me about the virus until I realized what that dream was about. And I'm thankful for every time that the Lord shows me something, you know, vision or something, or just, you know, a word that I stumble across that makes me want to share it with you. So I'm thankful for it. Even though it hurts to see the reality of my dream come true, I'm still thankful for that the Lord even told me about it in the first place. So I would say, like I said again, I would reconsider you know, the dreams that you have in your life. You might want to reconsider what some of those dreams are about. They might not even be dreams, they might be visions. But bottom line is, if the Lord is trying to warn you or try to show you something about yourself through these visions, you still have time to get it right. Through what the Lord was showing me, and through what I was seeing through this world and how chaotic it got since 2020. As hard as it may seem, it actually increased my faith with my Lord. Not out of fear factor, you know, going to hell or, you know, or heaven, but it increased my faith to realize, just like that power jack that you think can't be moved, it made me realize that you're not in control of everything around you. As much as these governments try to be in control of everything, you're not in control. And it shows you if you're not even in control of something that happened like this terrible disease in 2020, I think it's time for the world to start getting into a higher power. And my higher power is Jesus Christ. The Lord loved me enough to show me that vision, to warn others that something bad was coming your way. The devil, see, that's the thing about the devil. The devil wouldn't do that. The devil want to hit you blindsided and cause chaotic things to happen in your life to the point you don't understand why, but you're just angry all the time that it happened. And he likes to cause things to be in disarray. But the Lord was trying to warn me. And the people who I did warn, about this, like I said, I don't know what's going to happen. I said, I do not know what's going to happen, but you need to prepare yourself for something that's going to happen because the Lord has showed me something. If you're dreaming about something significantly, even if you don't believe in God, maybe you should consider it. Bow down and pray to God about it, and find a man of God like I did with my father. Because the Lord might be needing you for something. So just take that into consideration. I titled this Visions because there's going to be many episodes of Storytime with Salvwreck where I'm going to be discussing about some of the visions that I had. This one was a test pilot to see how this is going to go. I'm not going to go every week with visions of a story on every Storytime episode. I might break away from it, but this is just going to be part one when I talk about this tornado dream about the coronavirus. So I hope you enjoy it. I hope you consider what I said. And I hope you realize that you're not in control of everything that goes on in this world. As much as you want to go take control, you're not in control. Get yourself into a higher power and get into that word, because you live in, believe it or not, whether you believe it or not, you're living in the last days. It's time to stop playing around, and it's time to get it right before it's too late. Until then, stay tuned, stay alert, and remember, you are the movement. And sometimes you need to listen to your dreams in order to move proficiently and effectively. Be blessed out there. Take care. I'll talk to you next time on Storytime.